feel like I'm getting out there. I'm gonna do it. And I know a lot of times now we hear a lot about representation, and that's great and all. But I think that it's more about, especially our young people, we have to teach them that you can do anything. I don't care. You don't have to look for someone like you to be doing it. I played hockey and I skied and I liked heavy metal music. So I had black people who made fun of me who said I was acting, white. And I always thought, no, I'm not acting white. I'm acting me. I'm being me. These are the things that I enjoy doing. And I'm not going to stop doing those things. And if I see something that's fun, I'm going to do it.
Fresh killer.
What up, tribe? We have with us an extraordinary, absolutely phenomenal human being. Let me set this up. So she is a woman with an intense love affair for the outdoors. She is a Triple Crown winner, which means she has hiked the Appalachian Trail, 2,190 miles, the Pacific Crest Trail, which is 2,650 miles, and the Continental Divide, which is 3,100 miles. Only 334 humans have done this, and she is one of them. Ladies and gentlemen of the Awkward Black Tribe, please welcome Miss Elsye Chardonnay Walker. How are you doing, Elsye?
I'm doing fantastic. Doing fantastic today.
Okay, absolutely. I'm glad you're doing fantastic. I'm super glad you took the time out from your outdoor lifestyle to sit down with the tribe and indoors at that. So so for sure. Hey, so off the rip, let's get right into it, right? In that moment when you are 1,000 miles away from where you started and 1,000 miles from your destination, what is it that keeps you moving forward, knowing that so many people have probably fallen off the trail, turned back, went home, and all of those things, and you probably have, I'm sure you face your share of adversity out there. What is it inside you that keeps you moving?
Um, well, I think like on my first trail, which was the Pacific Crest Trail, it's kind of it's a goal. You start out and you really want to reach the end. Um, and somewhere around Oregon, I think, you've had people who dropped out, but you almost get kind of obsessed with getting to the end. You got to do it. You've got to complete it. You've told all your friends and family you're going to do it. You're blogging about it, and you just want to see the end. You've read all the stuff, all the things that are coming ahead, and you want to get to the end, and so you obsessively move to that goal. Um, that being said, on the Appalachian Trail, I learned that you need that sort of pull to get to the end because I didn't have that on the Appalachian Trail. Um, and that's why when I got to Massachusetts, I had no excitement about what was around the next corner or over the next mountain, and which was why I quit and went home, and then I had to kind of reset and reassess and come back and finish it when I felt like it was something that was driving me to get to the end. Because if you don't have that drive to get to the end, yeah, you'll be one of those people that just says I'm done and I'm out, which is, you know, fine too. But yeah, you have to have that motivation to get to the end, a need, a drive.
Now, as I understand it, the Appalachian Trail, that was the last trail that you did in your Triple Crown feat. What was it? What made you lose that intensity? Do you know what it was that made you no longer be excited about what's around the mountain and so on and so forth?
I think because when I initially did the Appalachian Trail, I went into it um because after you finish a trail and you go home, you're kind of like, now what do I do with myself? What do I do next? And a lot of my friends were going to do the Appalachian Trail. And I thought, I'm going to do it too. And I did it not because of the same reasons that I did for the PCT. I did it because, I needed something else to do and all these other people were going to do it. And I also thought it was going to be like the Pacific Crest Trail, which it's a total different animal. And so, yeah, not having that, I really want to do that burning in my gut like I had for the PCT. Yeah, after a while, I just kind of got burnt out because I was just pushing myself to finish. And to me, you have to want to do it, and it has to be fun. If it's not fun, you're just dragging yourself along, and that's not good.
Yeah, so I'm yeah. I super envy you. I admire that. Um, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I do hiking. I do day hiking, not through hiking. Through hiking is the backpack and you're on the trail for weeks and months, and it's is a whole entire journey, right? You're living on the trail, which to me is so exciting, right? Well, it sounds very exciting.
It
But
definitely is. It has its moments, that's for sure.
right. So just I just wanna, if you could like nerd out for a minute, what is you said the Appalachian Trail is a total different beast from the Pacific Crest Trail. And I'm wondering in what way. It sounds like the Pacific Crest Trail was more your flavor and the Appalachian Trail was not. And I'm wondering what are the differences that make you feel one over the other?
For one, the Pacific Crest Trail was being my first trail. Honestly, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had never backpacked more than 3 days when I went out there. So it was all new and exciting, and it was fun. And, you see all of the great sights and all the new things, and you're learning stuff. So that was exciting. The Appalachian Trail is way different because on the PCT you can be way out, away from towns, away from people. Um, there's switchbacks when you're going up the mountain. When you get to the Appalachian Trail,
Hold on. What's a switchback? What is a switchback?
switchback like instead of just going up and over the mountain, it kind of goes back and forth until you get to the top. And so it makes, I mean, it's a lot easier that way.
Like Mission Peak
Yeah, yeah.
in Fremont.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but on the Appalachian Trail, they don't really have switchbacks. You just kind of go up and over. I mean, sure, the climbs are not as high, but when you just go up and over and up and over, it's intense and tiring. Um, there's a lot of bouldering and scrambling and rocks, and also just the constant in and out of town. Every couple of miles, you're in town, there's people. And yeah, for me, I like being out there. I think that's why I love the PCT, why I really loved the CDT, because you're really, really out there in the wilderness. You can be 30 miles from the nearest road, and to me, that's what makes it exciting. To be away from all the people and the things and everything, and to have to figure it out and find your own way. That's the exciting part to me.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to hear. And I'm wondering how long does it take for that? So in the beginning, when at what point on the trail are you most likely to feel doubt? And at what point is it just like automatic? Like I'm making it, right? Like what is that like for you as you hike on this trail that takes what, a month? How long does these take? Like 2 months?
Uh, well, the PCT took 4.5 months. The CDT
Lord.
um it
You said the
that's
CDT took 5 months?
mhm, mhm.
Okay.
And I think that doubt, um, at least for me anyway, was always there. You never know if you're gonna make it. Um, you want to make it, you believe that you can make it, but there are days when you know things just go wrong. It's cold and it's wet, or you're tired, or things break, or injuries. and you don't know if you can make it to the end. So that's always a thing in your mind the whole time. Are you going to make it to the end? Um, so yeah, I think everybody has that. Um, it's just a matter of trying to get over it and trying to get through it, which I mean, I think for me, that's why I call it a through hike, because you have to go through a lot of things to get to the end goal. And you can't go around them. You have to go through it. You have to experience all the stuff to get to the end. And sometimes you just, you're over it.
What, how does it feel when you finish though?
Oh, that's, it's always nice. When you reach that end goal, you know you made it. You've gone through all the things, the crying and the pain and the joys. It's up and down. So when you hit that final mark, you've made a huge accomplishment that, I mean, like, a lot of people will never do. Um, it's also, it's like making that big dream come true. You're like, I did it. I did it, because nobody else can carry you to that spot. You have to do it yourself. You got to take your own stuff. You got to do it yourself. So yeah, it's amazing, that feeling when you get to the end and you're like, I did it. I did
Mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Do you do mainly like solo or do you go with the crew?
I consider myself a solo hiker. I like starting out by myself. I'm not into the whole group decision thing. When I'm by myself, um, if I want to do 25 miles, I'm doing 25 miles. If I don't, I like to decide that for myself. That being said, on the PCT, I got in a group of people that were amazing. We had an amazing bubble of people, and we didn't always hike together, but you would see them, maybe every 10, 15 miles or whatever. You run into the same people, and that was great. It was great to have those people looking out for you, or expecting you to show up, and looking out if you didn't show up. So that was great. I did have a girl, Kelsey, that I met on the PCT, and we hiked together for a portion of the AT, and we hiked most of the CDT together. Um, and even though when I say like together, her hiking style and my hiking style were different. Um, so we would camp together, and maybe we'd sit out in the morning together. Sometimes we'd be together all day. Sometimes, you know, I didn't see her for a couple of days. So to me, I like that. Just kind of being able to have your own journey, your own experience, Um, Also on the CDT, you kind of gotta have somebody around, because for safety, it's kind of way out there, and grizzly bears and all those kind of things. So it's great to have somebody around, and it's always great to have somebody around who you can camp with and laugh with, and know that they too are having a hard time, and they'll lift you up when you're down, and vice versa. So, but mostly I like being by myself and having to depend on myself.
Yeah, I I was going to do the PCT. I was totally going to do it.
There's still
I
time.
You say what? Say it one more time.
There's still time. It's still there.
It is still there. It still exists. I'm aware. It still exists, right? Um, I tell you what. I'm just gonna be 100. I'm always real with the tribe, right? They know this, right? I'm gonna say the honest to God truth. So I read Into the Wild by Krakauer, right? The Alexander Supertramp, and that was amazing. Like, I was very riveted by this book, okay? And then a few years after I read that book, I found myself at a movie theater watching Wild with Reese Witherspoon.
Hmm.
I grew up camping. My mom's took us hike like my whole life. I can't remember my first hiking trip. I can't remember the first time I had to be in 4 or 5, the first one I remember, right? Like it's been a thing for us. I saw Reese Witherspoon do her thing, and I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. Now, here's the here's the deterrent. I was like, so I did. Are you familiar with it's a trail called Rose Peak. It's out there in Livermore, California. It's in that area. It's like 20 miles.
Oh no,
So I did that. I was preparing, like I was building up, right, towards going backpacking. The one thing I just could not reconcile in my mind was the number 2 outdoors, like consistently, like the bathroom, the outdoor. I was like, yo, like everything else, as far as the food I would have to bring, that's fine. And the physical labor, like I could do the physicality of it, but it was just like that. I was like, what? I don't know. It was that part that was just, I don't know how to transition into a question, but like, I guess you get used to it or what?
you do, and it's like everything else. You have to look for you gotta look for the silver lining in it. I mean, I know how many people were always like, you know, oh, I pooped and look at this view and it's amazing. You know, how many people could say that? You know, I had this amazing view. I did my number 2. You know,
Put it on a bumper sticker.
yeah, you gotta find your silver lining in all those things where you're like, oh, I don't know about that. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like the most savage. I was just like, oh, hey, one day I'm gonna get over. I swear, like one day I'm gonna get over it. But like, it was just that. I'm wondering though. Like I had my Reese Witherspoon moment, my Alexander Supertramp moment. Into the Wild, by the way, people watching, please like read that. I thought the movie was mediocre, but the book was really good, man. This guy gives up his worldly possessions. He found out he was living a lie, goes all the way up to Alaska. There's more. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I was influenced by this. I'm wondering, does the depiction of hiking in media and popular culture and film, does that influence you at all? Did that inspire you at all? Or were you watching it like, oh, that's fake, that's not real?
Um, I would say, I mean, it just definitely inspired me. I mean, I initially came up with the idea to do the PCT because I watched The Way, and it was about hiking the Camino in Spain. And that's what I really wanted to do initially. But when I started training for that, I was looking for trails around Southern California where I could hike to train. And I found out about the PCT. And I'm like, I don't really have to go all the way to Spain. I could do this one right here.
Mhm.
So that was kind of my, motivation or inspiration to do it. But a lot, I think, like when I look at those movies,
Mhm.
I always have to remind myself that that's their experience. Um, you know, you have to be aware that, like, in the movie Wild, she didn't actually hike the whole trail, but that was her experience. That was her journey, and that's the way it happened for her.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold up. Now let's unpack this a little bit. All my real through hikers, are y'all just like, oh, that's whack, that's lame? See, is that what it is when it comes to what? Let me know.
No, it's not even that. I mean, that's like, I know, I truly believe like it's everybody's journey. There can be so many people on a trail, thousands a year, and we're all hiking the same trail, but everybody is going to have a different experience. So that was her experience. And so you're kind of like, initially I was like, it was kind of like that, but not really. But, different people hike in different ways. I mean, I met a couple who they hiked and they stayed in hotels like on the regular. I mean, they could afford that to go to town, nice meals. Yeah. I was not that, financially able to do that kind of thing. So my experience was totally different. That doesn't um, diminish their experience. It's just different. And it's kind of like life, everybody goes through, we're all trying to get through this, but we all are going to have our different experience. So, and you can't really say one person's way is better than another person's way, or, it's just different. And, yeah, and I mean, I read a lot of blogs before I went out on the trail too about people who hike the PCT, which inspired me. But I also, when I got out there, I realized that, again, what they did and what they experienced out there wasn't going to be my experience, and I couldn't recreate that. I just had to go and have my experience, and not get caught up in, well, they did this thing and they did that. I had to have my experience. And I think once you know understand that, it becomes your own journey.
Okay, okay. Right on. So I spoke about my mom's, taking us, hiking and stuff my whole life. I was wondering, how did this get started for you? Was it a childhood thing or something you discovered into your adulthood? How did your affinity for the outdoors come about?
um well, when I was little, I didn't now it's like trendy to be outdoorsy. I don't even consider myself outdoorsy. I just when I was little, my mom always just told us, get out of our house. And so we'd go outside and play in the woods, and the creeks and things, and the nature trail behind our house. But my family was not the type of family that went camping.
Mm.
We were not the type of family that did those types of things. We went on a cross country trip. We stayed in hotels. Um, Later in life, I took up long distance cycling, and I did a lot of camping then. Um, yeah, I was 45 when I decided to do this whole backpacking thing. So
Wow.
I'm a little late in life to do it. So it wasn't for me like a lifelong dream, or something I've done forever. But I mean, I've always been like doing outdoor type things. I've you know biked long distance. I've skied since I was little. And I think I just like doing things that are new and exciting and fun for me. So I always find it seems like those things always end up being outdoors. So there I am.
Yeah, at some point though, you took it way further than the average person takes their hobby, right? Because it's like, I'm wondering, what is it about you? And I should also tell people that you grew up in Flint, Michigan. Shout out to Flint. Yeah, that's right. MC Breed,
Yeah.
absolutely. And what's the name? Y'all got a sister out there. She's a boxer. You have a big boxing community out there.
Oh,
Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields. She's a big
oh,
boxer. But
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, I mean, I think I owe a lot of it to my parents, who always were like, you know, if you want to do something, you can do it, find a way, they always supported me in all my crazy ideas, because I kind of tend to that sort of thing. Um, when I say long distance bike riding, I did RAGBRAI, which is the registered bike ride across Iowa. And it's a week long bike ride across Iowa every year, and I did that for like 11 years, and it was great, fun. I went to Burning Man for 5 years, and so I like those things that are like outside the box, outside my comfort zone. So of course hiking, I can just do hiking. I have to do the whole thing. So,
Hey, so Burning Man is another thing that I, I wanted to do. I'm just, I think oftentimes special people don't realize how special they are. I think that oftentimes people don't realize what makes them different from the masses. Maybe that's part of what makes them special. So I think that like race functions in the average person, dare I say the average Black person, in a way that it doesn't seem to function like in your psyche. I've seen Burning Man. I'm like, whoa, wow, that's they're out there in the desert and it's free and everything. I went to a Burning Man art exhibit at the Oakland Museum, and I've admired people that have gone to Burning Man, and I've asked several questions when they came back from Burning Man. But there was something that I was just like, yeah, but Burning Man isn't for me, and something like in my consciousness. And I've never put that into words. Maybe it was something else. I don't know, but it more than likely had to do with race. And I'm hearing you talking about going to Iowa and riding a bike across Iowa and going to Burning Man and doing all these trails, all these places in which you have to be a representative. I'm assuming that you would have to be a representative for our entire culture, right? And do you not look at it that way? Are you not? I'm just wondering, like, how are you able to maneuver and navigate and just like, I'm gonna do this, period, versus like that thing that is in the back of people's brains, Black folks' brains, and be like, nah, 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 nah. Like, why is that not a thing for you?
I I think that I just like I don't see that as an obstacle for me, I guess. Even when I was younger, I mean, I started skiing when I was like in fourth grade. And a lot of times in my life, um, as my mom always said, I was the chocolate chip and the sea of vanilla, her chocolate chip and the sea of vanilla. And
Oh,
hey, the chocolate chip is the sweet part. So I feel like I'm getting out there. I'm gonna do it. And I know a lot of times now we hear a lot about representation, and that's great and all. But I think that it's more about, especially our young people, we have to teach them that you can do anything. I don't care. You don't have to look for someone like you to be doing it. You just decide that you want to do it and go do it, because if you don't, you'll always be waiting. You'll be waiting for your crew. You'll be waiting for your friends. You'll be waiting for people who look like you. Just go do it, because there are a lot of people out there who want to help you. They want to teach you how to do it. They want to show you how to do it. You just have to want to do it and go out there and do it. It's not like, I had, when I was a kid, people made fun of me,
why?
because, I played hockey and I skied and I liked heavy metal music. So I had Black people who made fun of me, who said I was acting, white. And I always thought, no, I'm not acting white. I'm acting me. I'm being me. These are the things that I enjoy doing. And I'm not going to stop doing those things. And if I see something that's fun, I'm going to do it. I don't care who's doing it. I don't care what they look like. I'm going to go do it. And for me, having that sort of openness to it, I think has made it easier, because when I get there, all the people there are like, cool, we're glad to see you here. We never really see any Black people here. Let's show you this. Let me show you that. And it's not scary. Then just go and do it. You'll figure it out. You'll learn some stuff. you know don't let the color of your skin, of all things, hold you back from trying some exciting new thing. If you go and you don't like it, you try something else and go a different direction you know
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, what? So it's not a barrier for you. You're being yourself, and I love that. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. And through that, it's just like you're moving everybody forward because we all see you, and we're all rooting for you, and we all just empathize with your journey. And I'm wondering what. So my goodness, you've hiked all these major trails. I'm sure so a lot of minor trails in between. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm sure it's going to be difficult for you. What is the most beautiful thing that your eyes have taken in on a trail?
Oh, that's a hard one. Because there's so many amazing things. I think, especially hiking, when you're out seeing this country at that slow of a pace, you get to see some amazing things. Um, the Sierras are amazing and breathtaking. Um, Glacier National Park in Montana, just like around every corner, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe like more people aren't out here seeing it. Um, it's so amazing. And so you have those nature things that take your breath away, but you also learn that there are beautiful people in this country. You know,
Mm.
when you go home and you watch the news, they feed you all this stuff, fear, and you know, you get scared and you think people live this way because that's what they said on the news or that's what you saw on TV. But you get out there in the real world and you're walking in these small towns and people help you, you know, who I was just sitting there hot and trying to pack up my backpack, and she came up in her minivan and said, "You know what? You're hiking the trail. You want to come to my house and take a shower?" And she took me to her house, and I showered. Her husband and her daughter came home. They fixed me dinner. They gave me food and took me back to the trail. You know, that was amazing. You know, that was beautiful to me. And I had those types of experiences all throughout the trail. You know, people who pick you up when you're hitchhiking and want to help you and buy you food and talk to you and hear your story. It's amazing and it's beautiful because I don't think people know that that's out there. You know, I know I heard a girl say once about, you know, oh, Trump's America. And I was like, it's not Trump's America. You have to go out there and see it. It's your America, you know. And when you go out there and you see that people, there's a lot of people out there who really want to help you and love you and share. Um, that was my experience, you know. This is my America and it's beautiful. And it's those little pieces that don't make the news that you have to go out and see for yourself. You have to go experience it for yourself. And then you'll be like, oh, damn, this country is beautiful. And there's some really awesome people and really awesome stuff going on out there, you know.
Hey, Elsie, does your lamp work? Does your light work? You're getting, it's super
Oh, it's
dark.
getting dark. Let me turn the light.
There we go.
Daylight savings. There we go.
Yeah, yeah, we're all getting used to it. So yeah, you know, I feel a similar way when I like to drive. I like to drive. And so flights are cool, but it's not the same experience than when you're driving.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people um I tell people how beautiful Utah is and the Southwest and just how
Yeah.
gorgeous it is. And I want to take so many people with me, like, because as much as I said, I don't want to play myself short. Like I've said, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I just don't do anything.
Yeah.
That's definitely not my reality. Like I do things that aren't quote unquote black all of the time, right? uh, yeah, just going through the Southwest. I've been to New Mexico and you know, hung out there and like the Utah thing. I went to Utah like 3 times. People don't understand because they think Utah, they think Mormon, they think white, they think I'm just like, no. Well, like, yes, but like, no, like it's so much, it's
So
so
much
much,
more.
it's so much more. It's
Mm-hmm.
so much more. And it's like, it I sometimes feel saddened that you spoke about the media and how the media kind of perpetuates this, but people are limiting their experience, and we're conditioned to limit our experience. And I think that that benefits other people that want to pretend like we aren't here. We aren't out here breathing. We aren't out here bleeding the same blood as them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so it's just very like, it's very refreshing, like to hear you speak of these things and to hear your journey. And but how not but not but however, what you said, I read that you said that you want to bring other people and get them started on through hiking.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like? How does one go about uh, getting getting someone to be a through hiker? And while you're thinking, I just want to share a story. I want to share a story in Black folk in particular, right? How would you go about getting Black folk to be through hikers? So my story goes, my favorite trail that I've experienced thus far in my life is Muir Woods to Stinson Beach. Okay, there's the Dipsy Trail. It's gorgeous views of the Pacific Ocean. It's just grand. I go there because it's just cathartic. It's stress relief. Brings me. It's just the most amazing thing. All right, and I've been a few places. I'm not on your level, but I've been some places, and and that's just my favorite. It has a lot of sentimental value as well. My mom took us there like my whole life. But getting back to the story, I was just like, I want to share this with my people. Elsye, I had a hot 20, literally like 25 or so Black folk when we marching through Muir Woods, Elsye. I'm leading. I'm leading us, and the Muir Woods part. I don't know if you ever done this hike before?
No, I haven't. Mm-mm.
Elsye, when you're in the, we'll do it. When you come to the Bay, we'll do it, right? So that's a promise. So you start on Muir Woods. Muir Woods is, oh my God, all the redwoods. And look up. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, is that an owl? Oh my goodness, it's great. Then you bend this corner and you start going up the hill. It gets real. And the reason why I was able to get so many of our people to go is that I didn't realize what separated me. It's 10 miles total, right? 5 there, 5 back. I didn't realize what separated me from most people and then most of our people, right? I was like, oh, I did it on one bottle of water. Like, it can be done. It's difficult, but you can do it. Y'all can do it. And people are like, oh, okay. And they thought, they felt like they could do it, but it was more so because, oh, it's so beautiful, this, that, the other. Okay. We go up this hill, and you know how Harriet Tubman had to carry a pistol because slaves were going to turn back? I didn't have a pistol, but I had several Harriet Tubman moments. And I was just like, come on, y'all come on. It was like, oh, like, it was like, oh my God. And people was just like freaking out. Now, we make it to Stinson Beach. There was a shuttle. I was trying to discourage people from hopping on that shuttle. Man, it was just like, bro, I appreciate it. I left like 75% of the tribe was going on the shuttle. Like my childhood friends, everybody was gone, right? And a girl had a panic attack going back. It was just wild stuff, right? I
Mm-hmm.
guess they didn't know how real it could get. And I'm just thinking like, you know, given
Yeah.
given that and just I know that we need the outdoors. I know that this us not being in the outdoors is a relatively new thing, right? Because we were the first cavers. We did a lot of first things outdoors. And in order to escape, speaking of Harriet Tubman, she had to be extremely knowledgeable of what side of the tree does the moss go and the North Star and all of these things, right? So I'm wondering, how do we reconnect our people, and how would you get um, Black folk to start this through hiking journey?
Gosh, it's funny. It's kind of like through hiking. even with Burning Man, when you do it, you have these amazing experiences, this amazing transformation. You come back and you're telling everybody about it, and you want everybody to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like Burning Man. All of a sudden, there's too many people.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many people on the trail. There's too many, and it's like, for me, I kind of changed my view. It's like my intention initially was like, oh my God, I need to get more Black people out here. I need more diversity. And I realized over time, what I've realized is like, that really isn't the main goal.
Hmm.
The main goal, I think, is instilling, especially in our young people, um, to take new paths in life.
Okay.
I think for so long we get wrapped up in, you know, certain things, basketball. You're gonna be a basketball player, I'm gonna be a football player, I'm gonna be a musician, all these things. And it's like, those aren't terrible things, they're great things. But you also have to try something different, you know, try something different, go a different direction.
Mhm.
Everybody's going that way, try a different direction. Um, to get more people outdoors, we also have to be honest with ourselves about our history and who we are and where we came from. Um, a lot of times when I was on the Appalachian Trail, I thought about Harriet Tubman.
Mhm.
I thought about those slaves and Sojourner Truth and all those people who had to take that road, and they had it like a million times harder than I did. And but to be out there was like connecting. You can read the book, you can watch the movie, all that stuff, but to be out there makes it real.
Mhm.
And I think it's important to teach our children how real that is. It's not just a story, it's real. You have to get out there and struggle. It's going to be tough, to be out there and be the only Black person. It's going to be tough getting up that hill, but it's going to change your perspective on life. It's going to transform you into a stronger person. You know, when I was little, my mom taught fourth grade history, and she taught Black history like all the time, like all year.
Mhm.
And as a little kid, I thought all the firsts were done, you know, all, everything's done. You can't be a first anymore. So becoming the first African American woman to hike all the three trails was shocking to me. And it
Mhm.
was shocking to me because I was just so sure somebody else had done it. I couldn't
Mhm.
believe that, like, what? You know, there's no other Black people out here doing this,
Mhm.
so that's what I think. I think we have to get people to do new things, try
Mhm.
different things. Everybody's got to congregate in one spot. No, you don't. You got to get out there and try something new, and and then come back and tell your friends. Just one. If you just get one friend to go, we talk about diversity, and it's like, how are you going to measure diversity? We always lean on other people to do it for us. Well, if these companies gave us more money, or if this did that, then we could do it. And it's like, no, you do it. you
Mhm.
know you got to get out there and do it. If you want the trails to be more diverse, take your friends with you. If you want more people hunting and fishing, then you guys need to got to do it. You have to take your friends and go do it. That's what it is. It's not about somebody else doing it, or you know it's not about putting more Black faces in the magazines. It's about us making that happen. you know I honestly, I'll tell you, I sent an article to Essence magazine when I became, the first Black woman to do the trails. And I was like, this would be great. I'll send out a press release. And I got an email back from it saying, thanks. It's not a story we want to go with at this time.
Mhm.
And I was like, I I don't know when you would go with a story like that then,
Right.
and really kind of like, really? If Essence magazine doesn't want to read my story and put my story in their magazine. Why should Outside magazine want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So those are the kind of things I think as a community we have to look at, and we have to change, and we have to really support those who are out there. There's only a few, but those ones we have to really get behind, because if we don't get behind them, why should anybody else get behind you? And if we don't support them, how are young kids going to be like, oh, that's another direction I could go? You know, if we're always talking about Michael Jordan, or, you know, this person, you know, or that person, or this rapper, our kids look at that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where the direction they go. But we have to also give them another direction. Here's some other things that Black people are doing. It might only be one or two of them. There might be none.
Mm-hmm.
But make it so they can go, make it so that kids believe in themselves, that they go out and do stuff. You know, that's what we have to do as a community to get more people outside. We got to start our own from the base, from foundation, and build up. That's what we have to do.
Well. Hey, Elsye, I certainly appreciate it. Appreciate your time. I know the tribe appreciates your time. If people want to reach out to you, how should they go about doing that?
Well, I'm on Instagram at LCW,
Mm-hmm.
ELSYEW.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have a blog at wanderingchardonnay.com.
Okay. Wanderingchardonnay.com. Ooh, yes, a lot of inspiration, a lot of game, a lot of flavor as well. We didn't even get to you wearing tutus on the trail. That means there's got to be a part two. she's the fashionista on the trail. What'd you say?
I wore the tutu before Serena.
You wore the tutu for Serena. Okay.
I wore that first.
Oh, you wore it before Serena. I just said you wore it for Serena, but you wore it before Serena. Hey, the tutu starts here. Hey, more on all of her fashion choices. We got to keep them coming back, Elsye. We got to keep them coming back. And then next time it's going to be an in-person interview. I'm going to go down with all the equipment and we're going to make the thing official. So is that cool?
That sounds great. I could talk to you all day. So.
Oh, it's going down. It's going down. We'll hit a trail together as well. So, I for sure, Black folk, Agua Black tribe, dream different dreams. It's okay to go on your own path and start your own thing. Only if it's a few, even only if it's just you. And take Elsye Walker for example. All right, use her as your inspiration. Well, I'm gonna see you next time. Please like this video, and subscribe to the tribe.
Yes.
Peace, tribe, and another one.